Welcome, one and everyone, to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. I am here, finally, and I'm doing this show early, and I'm a few minutes late because I just got home, and I don't even have my chats up, so I can't even tell if anyone is there talking with me. Apparently while I was gone, Windows Updater decided to turn off my computer, restarting all my programs and closing all my windows. So even though I had all my windows open and ready for the show, sadly, I'm going to have to open them all up again. So bear with me while I work on this. I'm going to try and get music going first, if I can. And apparently, Google Chrome is down. Well, while I get started, I am going to go ahead and tell you all why I've had to do this. So there are about 10 people watching right now. Great. Glad you guys are here. And my internet is working. It better be, because I've got 10 people in chat. It wouldn't make sense otherwise, so therefore it must be a Chrome issue, which is distressing in and of itself, but oh well. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me see if I can get my music started here. I had to do this show early. There we go. Hey, I like this one. Sounds kind of, Jewish. Whoop, did it stop? Is my internet connection just slow, or what? You know what, I should probably get the chat up so that you, ladies and gentlemen, can talk to me and let me know what's going on. New tab. Safari is a weird browser. Alright. Scotch and Smoke Rings. See if I can get the chat up. Let's refresh this. Okay. Music is finally working. Yeah, a lot goes into setting up this program, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know if you know. There we go. Greg Hartung, Ghoul Breath. No, actually, it is just Ghoul Breath. Thankfully, you guys are here. Okay, let me try and pop out this chat. I'm not blind anymore. Thank goodness. Although my internet is taking a very long time. Yeah, hang tight, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta work on some things here. There we go. Great. We've got Greg Hartung. Sorry about that, Greg. I didn't see your name. It was black. It was blending into the background. I now see your name and realize that you're here as well. We've got Greg Hartung, Ghoul Breath, Tom is a bad butt. Apparently that's your name, Tom. Pleasure to have you guys here. Yeah, I know, there are very few people here. Now, there's a reason for that. First of all, my data says that there are only 7 people here. First of all, this is on the wrong day. Second of all, I haven't been able to tell the world that I'm streaming right now because I just got home and I've been trying to get this entire system set up because my stupid computer restarted on me while I was at work. So, dealing with technical difficulties, I'll try and make it a little bit longer today, just so that we can, so I can compensate for everything. Pleasure to have you here, Rin. Good to see you. Hey there, Azanoth. Pleasure to see you as well. Awesome. We're getting some more people tumbling in. My internet seems really slow to me today. How is the connection, everybody? Is my voice okay? Is the visuals, are the visuals jittery? Because from my end, my computer is just, my internet is just struggling to get by here. You think it's fine, says Ghoul Breath? Alright, if you think it's fine, I am going to be pleased as punch. I'm perfect, says Azanoth. Am I? Good. I'm not going to contradict you. There are times when I think I'm perfect as well. Alright. Smoother than elf skin, says Greg. I suppose elf skin is pretty smooth. Alright. Well, you guys can you're gonna see a window into the seductive process of setting up for the show as I log into my email and try and download fan art and log into my moderator abilities. I've got some great stuff for you today. It's actually going to be a good show once I get it going. I've got new scotch, I've got new cigars, and I've finally got blasted contraption working. See how I did. And in the meantime, I'm just going to do what I normally do. I'm trying to figure out how to log in here. So talk amongst yourselves, entertain each other with stories of your famous exploits. What is my username? Hey. Nothing ever goes right. Yeah, and I can't log in there. Yes, I'm trying. Yeah. Fine. That's the way you're going to be, computer world. That's fine. I'm not talking to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm grumping. I'm grumping at the computer screen because of all the things that are coming to conspire against me. Okay, that's spam. Let's see. Oh dear. Alright, so remember last week when Blizzard contacted me and asked me if I wanted them to send me a package? Well, they told me what it is. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, ladies and gentlemen, because I want it to be a surprise. But they just emailed me, and apparently they can't send to a P.O. box, so I'm going to have to give them my home address. This is bad. Blizzard is going to know where I live now. I have striven all my life to try and keep my real address out of the hands of predators and people who could track me down. But in order to do this contest for you fine ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to give Blizzard Entertainment my home address. If I don't show up next week, you'll know why. Yes, alright, Blizzard. Seattle. There we go. Oh wait, I should be looking for fan art, huh? Alright, hold on. Let's see here. What fan art have I gotten? That actually doesn't contain fan art. That actually doesn't contain fan art. That does not contain fan art. I should probably go to the spam folder, right? Because that's where we've discovered that this has been appearing. Business offer. Money transfer. Yeah, totally gonna give you that, buddy. You know what? I'm just gonna have to do fan art on another day. Wait, no, here it is. Here it is. PSD? He sent me the PSD? Buddy! Photoshop files. I don't have Photoshop on this machine. Come on. Don't send me the photo. Okay, last week he sent me a WMV, which was a movie. That's a movie file, right? And now he's sending me the actual PSDs, the Photoshop files he used to make the image. Buddy, oh, here we go. Here's the JPEG. Finally. Oh, that's cool. It's sideways. So, alright, I'll deal with that later. I want to get started here on this fun program. So I'm going to open up Twitch TV. Yeah, if it's not one thing, it's another, right? Photoshop file, video. Finally see the JPEG and... It's gonna have to avoid itself.
himself in. He tries to back away from it. Ambition goes down to Song. And that was a great, great trade.
Number 2's All Captain Jack, showing why he's the best 80.
Yeah, what you were hearing was apparently some sort of esports thing going on Twitch TV right now. Hey! There I am. Finally. Alright. Now to get the Twitch TV chat going up. Let's see if I can find it here. Probably on my channel, I would guess. Yes, I can undock it and then settle here. Pop up there. Yes, I can undock it. Perfect. Okay, so I've got my live stream chat. Check. I've got my Twitch TV chat. Check. I've got Twitter up. Check. I've got fan art. Check. Although it's kind of weird looking. Where'd it go? I'm on scotchandsmokerings.com checking my Facebook comments. Check. Alright. I think we're about ready to start the show. Actually, let me go into buffer and tell the whole world that I'm streaming right now. It's a Wednesday night. It's weird. People aren't going to be expecting me to be online right now, so we're going to get fewer people. But it's alright. Chopper Dave asks, Oxhorn, do you use TweetDeck? It's an amazing program. I do. In fact, I have TweetDeck up here on my screen so that I can monitor the tweets that come in during the show. However, I have been using a service called Buffer to schedule my tweets and my Facebook updates throughout the week, which saves me time because then I can just find a bunch of stuff and then send them out over a period of time instead of all at once. And that's going to increase the chance that they get read. And this is what I'm logging in to make my status update about the show right now, because actually TweetDeck is broken on my machine. I can't speak through it. I can only receive things on it. It's probably some weird setting I've got on it, but... Alright, streaming live right now. Spelled with an A and an O. Scotch and Smoke Rings episode. What episode is it, fellows? 77? 76? Well, I haven't posted the previous 2 episodes on scotchandsmokerings.com yet, so I suppose I can just count back.
Many families who have been used to paying $1,000 or more for their cars are now reasoning like this. This new Oldsmobile 8 offers more than I have ever had in my high-priced cars.
Tom is abed, but thank you. Says, can't drink tonight, working graveyard shift. My friend, that is a tragedy. I worked the graveyard shift at a hotel in Seattle for 3 years of my life while I was in college. So I know what it is like. It's rough sometimes. 6. So 176. Today is the 176th episode. No, today is the 7th, 177. Episode 177, because 4 and 5, then 6 and 7. Streaming live right now, Scotch and Smoke Rings episode 177, a day early. Come see my new cigars. I love the vintage commercials that they play on this station. Bam! And we're done. I can now actually proceed with the program. Thank the Lord. Well, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Milo Ninja says, hey, Oxhorn, did you see the link I sent you yesterday about the Death Star Ice Cube? I did. I didn't actually have a chance to open it, but I thought that was really cool. Someday, if I ever get one, I will use that exclusively for my ice here on Scotch and Smoke Rings. H-Star says, 121212. You sure there, Ox? Yes, today is 12/12/12. The 12th day of the 12th month of 2012. Some sort of mathematical anomaly which must, of course, bear some significance, right? Not really in my book. When it comes to these mathematical oddities on the calendar, I really don't put any significance upon them. Some people do, and they'll build their little circle of rocks and throw some flower petals around and burn their incense altars and then dance like a hippie. I, on the other hand, am more interested in drinking scotch. and smoking a cigar. I can't think of anything better to do on this day, on 12/12/12, than to spend time with you, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy a gentlemanly stogie and a gentlemanly beverage. Hot for Bears on Twitch says, you're late. In Australia, it's already 13/12/12. Nothing happened. I'm from the future. Pleasure to see you, time traveler. Say hi to Marty McFly for me. I'm so glad that the world is still intact in the future on 12/13/12, because I was really, truly, and genuinely worried. Ghoulbreath says, I bought Chivalry today. Well, I'm glad you finally got it, but true gentlemen are chivalrous from birth. That's right, we open doors for ladies. We wear only the classiest of clothing. Our diction is refined and gentlemanly. Oh, you meant the game? You bought Chivalry the game? Congratulations, let me know how it is. I would love to play it. Lighters says, holy crap, that's Oxhorn. Indeed, Lighters. I am Oxhorn. And let's pull out our lighters. This is my lighter. It is singular, so I will not call it lighters. Instead, I'll call it lighter. And I just fixed it, because last week, none of my lighters work, even though this lighter is a lighter I just bought. Lighters. And I fixed it last night, so let's see what happens. No! It didn't work! Come on. Yes! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is how this works. I've been wanting to show you this for a while. You toast the end of it. You just toast it. Here we go. Don't put it directly in the butane flame. Just singe the end. What you're looking for is the very end of it to turn white. You want a bunch of white ash to build up on the end. And then all the way around you want a perfectly symmetrical burn mark. So that you don't have to actually hold it in the flame while you're smoking it. Plus, you get a perfect burn. Look at that. No rough edges. I'm not going to get any split leaves. This thing is going to be magnificent. So glad I got this thing working. Now, I do love matches. Don't get me wrong. I do love matches, and I tend to use matches on a frequent basis when I don't have working lighters, but I prefer a nice butane lighter because it gives you a perfect burn. Lighter says, nice top hat. Why, thank you, sir. This is actually called a bowler hat or derby. Britons call it a bowler. Americans call it a derby. But it is essentially the same thing. It's not a top hat. I have one of those. But a top hat is distinguished from a derby in that they are never brown, always black, and much taller and flat on top. Basically, it's a Abraham Lincoln hat, which is a stove top hat. And the reason bowler hats or derbies were even invented is because refined gentlemen of their day would go out hunting on their horses, and as they were riding around, the wind would knock their hats off, or they would run into a tree branch and it would knock their hat off, and then it would fall to the ground and then break, you know, because they were really heavy. And one inventive genius at the time says, you know what, I bet I could make it so that the hats don't fall off if I make them round, and a little bit more aerodynamic. And that is why we now have bowlers and derbies to this day. Nomeo said hats would break indeed. Hats of the day were made from silk. Top hats were made from silk. They were incredibly hard, but woven together, and you had to take good care of them or else they would just collapse when they fell to the ground. Lighters and hot for bears. On Twitch, if you're wondering who I'm talking to, I'm actually talking to the fine ladies and gentlemen at scotchandsmokerings.com. I have two chats going on right now. The one I am looking at on Twitch TV, and then, of course, the one at scotchandsmokerings.com. Azanoth says, now I want to smoke cigars when I'm older, thanks to you, Ox. Well, I'm flattered on one hand, and I want to give you a bit of caution on the next. If you do smoke cigars, enjoy the flavor, develop a refined taste for it. Don't be the guy who goes to McDonald's and just eats everything off the dollar menu. No, be the guy that goes to a fine steakhouse, orders a small ribeye with a glass of wine, and savors the experience over the period of a good hour with his friends. That is the classy way to enjoy excess. Alright, Hot for Bears, I'm changing your name. I'm now calling you Hot for Bieber. Bieber. What's his name? Bieber? Justin Bieber? That's right. Until you change your name, I'm calling you Hot for Bieber. Just saying. Hot for Bieber asks, do you have a blade in the rim of your hat that you can throw at approaching enemies? You mean like that fellow from James Bond? No. I don't have a blade in my hat. Ouch. Scotch time. Today we are drinking Potter's blended Scotch whiskey. It's not the Cadillac of Scotch by any means. It is a blended Scotch whiskey, but as we discovered in that fantastic Scotch video that a fine fan shared last week on this program, blended Scotch whiskeys don't necessarily have to be bad. This one is one of those that is not necessarily bad. It's decent. I definitely wouldn't call it an amazing Scotch, but it's drinkable, it's not too harsh, and it's suitable. And so that's what we're drinking today. A suitable little bit of Potter's blended Scotch whiskey. I finally figured out lighting, by the way. Took me 3 years of doing this program, but I'm well lit. Cheers. Not bad. Not bad, ladies and gentlemen. I've had worse. Tom is a bad butt. Says, I bought a bottle of Bacardi Oakheart to try. Not Scotch, but Oaky. That's right. Bacardi's a decent rum. Not the best rum, but it's a decent rum. Rotopris says, ugh, worst week ever for me. Well, I sure hope that your week gets better. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, extend your prayers to Ironbark and his family. Not to get into any details, but they are going through a rough time today, as I have gone through in the past. So extend your prayers to them today on 12/12/12. Greg Hartung says, sorry for the lack of fan art. Final exams had to come first. Good sir, Greg Hartung, that is understandable. Final exams are important. Do your school thing, and then do your Scotch thing. Azanoth says, Oxhorn. I had a bad day today. I hurt both of my legs. Hope that Ironbark and his family have a better week than mine. Only good thing about this week is no school for me on Friday. Because you broke your legs? True, if you break your legs, you don't have to go to school. But you also can't walk. I don't know if one is necessarily a better trade-off for the other. I'll leave that up to the experts, but hey, if you're finding the silver lining on the broken legs issue, then kudos for you. Jeekers22 says, I hope you're a fancy lumberjack, because you look like one. Indeed, my good sir. I have cut my fair share of lumber with nothing but an axe in my bare hands. So I guess you could call me a lumberjack. I will not be offended. Claytoon says, hey Oxhorn, I haven't seen one of your streams in a while. How have you been? By the way, your gentleman's beard is looking quite gentlemanly this night. Thank you. This is about 1 year's worth of growth. I have not cut it in a year. I'm considering trimming it. I haven't decided. I'm considering trimming down the sides a little bit to be a little bit more vertical, and then maybe rounding this out just a tad. But I haven't made my decision, because there's something just majestic about a raw beard, right? We'll see. I'll talk to the beard experts at the beard competition and see what they say. Lord Vrithry says he's a lumberjack and he's okay. He works all night and sleeps all day, but I do not wear women's clothing. Putting that myth to rest now, before it even begins. Miller Ninja's comment to me was about Zug Zug needing a trim. He said that right before I talked. Rotopris said, worst week ever for me. My aunt died. She had pneumonia. I talked to her and she told me to follow my heart. And then she died 2 days later. Going to her funeral on Friday. Well, Rotopris, you have my deepest sympathies. It's never easy to go through a family death. Thank you for coming today, and I will extend my prayers to you and your family. Tom is a bad butt says, what's with these names? How's the kid doing? I haven't been on since I heard you had it. That's been 6 months ago, because he is 6 months old now. He's doing well, so my beautiful wife and my beautiful baby boy are in Kentucky right now, visiting family. I'm going to be going in 2 weeks to meet them, but I've got 2 weeks here, all alone, by myself, with nothing to do. Last night, I watched Poirot. If you have Netflix, go onto Netflix and search for Poirot. It's spelled P-O-I... Oh, it's a Belgian word. Poirot. It's spelled Poirot. P-O-I-R-I-O-T. There you go. But it's pronounced Poirot. Anyway, it's a fantastic detective series from Britain. I have fallen in love with it. I mean, Yes, Relinqueness, you spelled it right. Or Vampire Wombat. One of you did. No, Vampire Wombat spelled it right. That's it. Congratulations. An awesome TV series. It aired in the 80s and 90s. They still make episodes today. The clothing in that series is just brilliant. I mean, it's like right from the 30s, the 20s and 30s. I mean, they go so far as to even wear spats on their shoes. The set design is amazing. And the cars are so cool. Anyway, sorry, I'm geeking out now. But last night, I enjoyed a cigar. I had some Belgian chocolates. I had some Scotch. And I just watched episode after episode of Poirot. This is one of the ways that I entertain myself when I'm all alone. Melaninja says, oh yes, you have not even plugged your book yet. How's it going? Why, thank you, Melaninja. I am so glad that you are here on this program. Because, you're right, I haven't plugged my book. This is, of course, my book, The Tale of Cloron Hastings. If you haven't purchased it yet, you are missing out, my friends. You will not have a complete life or soul until you purchase this. Give me $10 and then read it. I'm just going on record as saying, you lack of soul until this. So, take that for what it is. I hope you enjoy it. Go to chloronhastings.com. You can find it on Amazon and iTunes, the ebook version. It comes in hardcover, paperback, or ebook version. Reasonably priced. You will all enjoy it. It's a young adult fantasy fiction novel set in my own world. Set at sea. It's great. So, there you go. Thank you, Miller Ninja, for bringing up my novel. It's important.
My wife is on a diet, and since she's on a diet, I'm losing a pound.
Greg Hartsong says, my dad and I are looking at the possibility of visiting Seattle, where my dad grew up this summer. Do you have that time? I don't really plan out my summers a year in advance. I may be one of the few who don't. But your point is valid. I would love to meet up sometime and say hi, because you're an awesome guy. And Gavin loves his quilt that you sent. He just absolutely loves it. So thank you so much. Anyway, that's a tentative yes. We should definitely maybe go get some coffee or something. H-Star said, dead blood elf has souls. Are you suggesting that an elf only gets a soul once it dies? I suppose an undead elf may have a soul. I don't know. It's getting rather complicated for me. I'm not into the whole math.
Round her chassis, she's not the same. You can even see the boat.
Hot for Bieber. He changed his name. Awesome. Hot for Bieber says, do you still play WoW? If so, do you do it in the what do you do in the game? Yes, I still play WoW. I primarily use the game to make machinima movies. I don't spend a lot of time grinding and leveling. Case in point, my character is still only level 85. And he has unspent talent points. Just letting you know that when it comes to casual, I do casual on casual mode. That's how casually I play the game. But yes, I still do play the game. I've got an active guild on Silverhand called the Invisible Pink Unicorns. It's for Oxhorn fans who love machinima. You are all more than welcome to join. But yes, I play the game, but I use it primarily for making my own movies. This is a good one. I believe my camera's hitching, isn't it? Is it pausing and like starting and pausing? Man, I just can't help but dance to this song. What's going on? Jeekers22 says, is that a cigar or just a huge blunt? Look, I understand that, yes, I am streaming live from Seattle right now, but not everyone in Seattle smokes pot now that it is legalized. Now, this goes back to something that I have said many times on Scotch and Smoke Rings. People ask me if I'm into pot. I, of course, say no, I am not into pot. And then they ask me if I have any moral objection to it. And my moral objection has always been that it's illegal, and so therefore we should not do something that's illegal. But now it's legal in Seattle. So what can I say about pot? I can say this. It's not my thing. Would you try it? Asks Mila Ninja. I have a natural... Why is my camera hitching like that? I have a natural... because I don't like the smell, and This song is really annoying, sorry. And I can't skip it. Oh well, I'll let you listen to it. I'm going to turn it down, though. There we go. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I have a natural aversion to it because I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the culture surrounding it. I don't like the movies made about it. It's just not my thing. I don't find it classy. I'm not going to judge other people who do it now because it's legal, right? So there's no real reason for me to be against it other than I just personally see it and it's not my thing. Lord Blackbane says, do you find it ironic that you are not a fan of seafood, yet you live in one of the largest port cities in the country? Yeah, so, look, I live in Seattle. There are seafood places all over Seattle. My dad was a fisherman. He brought fish home from the sea that he caught himself. My grandfather was a fisherman who did the same. Everyone in my family loves fish. My wife loves fish, but I hate fish. I cannot stand seafood. I know, it's weird. I should love seafood, but there's just something about the taste of seafood that I just cannot abide. I will give one caveat. I know. Relinquinus says, do you like crab? I do not like crab. It's nasty. Ugh. But I do like one thing about seafood, and it's this. Deep fried clams. Yes, you take a clam and then you put it in a bunch of bubbling oil. And it takes away all the nasty fish smell. And then it just gets all crispy. I like those. But I can't stand any other seafood. Just my personal taste. What about lobster? Asks Saguna. No, like if I don't like crab, I don't like lobster. I certainly don't like shrimp. I'm just not a fan of anything caught from the bounty of the sea. And I wrote a fantasy novel about the sea, wherein all the characters eat seafood. I realize it's strange, but I just don't like it. Tom as a butt says deep fried clam burgers are amazing. I would try it. And that is it. H-Star says deep fried mermaid. I'd try it. No, it's alright. I want to broaden my horizons. I've tried almost all other kinds of seafood, and I hate it all, but I've never tried deep fried mermaid. And I want to be adventurous. So sure, why not? We'll give it a go. Hot for Bieber says, what about salt and pepper squid or calamari? I hate fish, but love those two. Again, I can see the appeal of calamari, especially if it's also deep fried or battered, but no. No, I just don't. It's squid, man. It's got tentacles. Those are the things from nightmares. I can appreciate a sort of vengeance as you eat something that is from your nightmares, but again, I just don't like the idea of it sort of slithering down your esophagus and into your stomach and then squirming around as your bile starts to dissolve it. And I could go on, but these are the things that enter my mouth, in my mind, as horrible things enter my mouth. And it's slimy and the texture is just... Scotch, soothe me, Scotch. Take these foul memories away. Azaria says Felicia Day on this show. Oh yes. Get Felicia Day. She's a nice lady. We met at BlizzCon 2008, 9, and then we met at DragonCon 2011. Now I'll tell you about 2011. It was a lot of fun. I went to DragonCon in Atlanta, and the entire cast of the guild were judges at a World of Warcraft costume competition. And the people who put on the convention asked me to be a judge too. So I got to sit on a judging panel with the lady who played Clara and the girl who played Tink. And it was a lot of fun. And then there was an after party later that night where the entire cast from the guild sat down with the organizers of the convention. And we drank Crystal Skull vodka. Is that what it's called? It's in that skull-shaped thing. Yeah. None of us got drunk. It was fun. Although I will tell you that, what's his name? What's the guy who was also on Star Trek? I forget his name. He played the kid. Crusher. Crusher's kid? What's his name? The actor's name. I forget his name. Anyway, he was there too. And he is incredibly protective. Will Wheaton. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Everybody is getting this one correct. Will Wheaton. He was there as well, and he is super protective of the girls on that show. They were kind of tossing back the vodka, and they didn't get drunk, but they did get a little tipsy. And he was incredibly protective of them. He didn't drink a bit, and the funny thing is that a lot of the geeks there were coming up and trying to flirt with them, and he wasn't having any of it. It was a funny experience. But anyway, great people. I would love them all to come on the show sometime. I just don't think they're fond of cigars. DragonFan36 says, hello! Well, hello, DragonFan36. A pleasure to see you here. To those who are in my Twitch TV chat, I'm actually streaming live from ScotchandSmokerings.com, where most of the people are chatting right now. Pardon me. Where most of the people are chatting right now, but I will look at this chat as well.
great music of the 1920s and 1930s deserves to have an...
Sarunga says, I am so going to buy your book. It looks really interesting. Why, thank you, Sarunga. I am honored. And for those who are interested, I'll type in the URL. My keyboard isn't working. What? Why can't I type into this chat box? It's chloranhastings.com. CLORAN Hastings.com. All one word. So you can find it there. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Azaria says, Felicia Day Tipsy. The things I would... come on. Really? Let's keep the class factor up. Class factor up here. It's currently down here. Let's push it up here. Just saying. Bring it up a notch. One little notch. Greg Hartung says, did you check out the Yule Lads wiki article? If so, and you found it funny, you're welcome. And if not, I apologize. The answer is I haven't looked at it yet, so I am not weighing a judgment yet. DJ Pats says, what kind of cigar, Ox? A value cigar. I don't even know the name of it. I got it for like 99 cents at my local tobacconist. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I have two cigars left. This one that I'm currently enjoying right now, and this one, which I will probably enjoy over the weekend, or I'll save it for next week. And then that is it. I am out of cigars. Now, you all can help. This is a veritable desert, and you don't want me to starve of lack of cigar. So, support Oxhorn and Scotch and Smoke Rings by sending me cigars. You can do so at scotchandsmokerings.com. There's a little link near the top of the page that says Gifts for Ox, and from there you can see a selection of cigars that you can purchase and send to my P.O. Box. Plus, if you want to get some for yourself, by all means, it's from a place called Gotham Cigars. They're an official sponsor of Scotch and Smoke Rings. They've got excellent cigars. And I'm running low. Like I said, I'm in a desert now, and the water is running dry. So if you want to see me smoke your cigars on this fine program, if you would like to support this show, please send me a selection of cigars. I will be forever in your debt. Otherwise, I'll just have to smoke something else. And that could be dangerous. DJ Pat says, what kind of cigar? Ox? Oh, wait. He was asking about this one? Yeah. Relinquent says, do they require age verification? I'm not sure, but I'm just saying if you're not over 18, please don't buy them. Okay, Greg Hartung asks, I almost forgot, Patrick asked me to ask you what it takes to set up a live stream / Twitch TV broadcast. Her anime club is considering setting one up. Live stream is completely free and very easy. They just put ads on all your stuff. Twitch TV is also free, but you can't make money on it unless you're a verified partner, and they're very picky about who they allow to be a partner. So she may not be able to be accepted, but she can certainly try. Relinquina says, when's your birthday? I was born August 2nd, 1981. That's right, I am 31 years old. Ancient. DragonFan36 says, hello, what's your opinion on networking? That is, having connections. Interesting question. I think it's important, especially for your career. It's hard to have a career unless you have connections. So go to parties, classy parties, business parties, meet people, join classy groups on LinkedIn, for example, and get to meet people, get to know people in your industry so that you can make professional connections and get an awesome job. Asenath says, you're 3 years younger than my dad, Oxhorn. I do not fear age. No, sir, I do not. I take it with pride. As these hairs go gray, they will become my silver mantle. My wisdom will continue to go up a notch. So no, I do not fear age, nor death from age. Tom is a bad butt says, don't worry, Ox, you are 25 years younger than my dad. Oh, great, thanks. That does make me feel a lot better. Kudos. Why does that happen? Something in the background is playing. Where does that come from? Oh, it's on scotchandsmokerdrinks.com. There we go. Perfect. There. Goldbreath says, I don't fear death, I fear the act of dying. Dying can be miserable, or it can be quick and painless. Don't fear death. What was it the Bible says? Don't fear death, and don't fear man. Fear the one who can send you to eternal death. Azenath says, in the long future ahead of me, when I finally have children and settled down, I will make sure to teach them the classy ways of Sir Oxhorn. Good on you, mate, as you should. You should go to bloggingwithclass.com, my blog, and read all of my classy thoughts. Then you will truly be a man of class. Ghoulbreath asks, Ox, are you and or would you ever be a Mason? That is a Freemason. Not sure if I've asked before. I have talked about Freemasonry on the show before. I don't know anyone who's a Freemason. I've never been invited to become a Freemason. I really have no desire to be a Freemason. I don't think there's anything creepy or sinister about Freemasonry. I just don't really have a desire to be involved in an elect club that has secrets. I figure if you're a club that has secrets, then either you think too much of yourself or you have something to hide. And neither of those are two things I want to be involved with. But I don't want to judge, so I would gladly learn more about Masonry if I had the opportunity. Is it just me, or is every single quote somebody wants to use online from Mark Twain? I was reading an article the other day, I think it was on The Atlantic, where they were talking about how 90-some-odd% of all of the quotes on Google that are attributed to Mark Twain actually aren't from Mark Twain. It's interesting. The Huffington Post actually got in trouble for recently releasing top 10 Mark Twain quotes, all but one of which were not from Mark Twain. It's the Huffington Post, right? It's basically a tabloid. What can you do? Rotopris asks, do you know anything about the musical Anything Goes? Is it that song? Anything Goes. I think it was on the Fallout 3 soundtrack. If so, then that's all I know about it, is that they had a song on the Fallout 3 soundtrack. So no, sadly I don't know anything about Anything Goes. Yes, that's the right one? Excellent. I loved the Fallout 3 soundtrack. I loved Fallout 3. Walking around that desolate world killing giant mutant rodents while listening to music from the 30s. It was classy. Jumbelli says, if electricity comes from electrons, does morality come from morons? No, because if we were going to be playing that linguistic game, it would have to come from moralitons. Electrons, moralitons. That is what it would have to be, not morons. So, it's close. It's close. It doesn't quite work. BurnZ123 says, you for reals? With a Z at the end. Indeed, BurnZ123. I am for reals. With a Z at the end. Greg Hartung says, Patricia says, thanks for the tip. Thank you, Greg Hartung. And thank you, Patricia, for your great question. Tom is bad, but says, I'm the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now. Mark Twain. Indeed, I do remember when the venerable Mark Twain said that. I believe he was on a camping trip. True story. Goldbreath, you keep bringing that up. Goldbreath says, my seeds shall walk the earth. Mark Twain. Don't think that was a Twain quote. Azeroth says, Sir Oxhorn, opinion question. Which do you like more, Alliance or Horde? I'm surprised you have to ask me that question, but Horde, of course. I made the anti-elf anthem of all things. Stay away from those hippie elves. Azaria says, pop, 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 poker face, pop, pop, poker face. Mark Twain. I can buy it. Rotty Pierce asks, have you ever punted any gnomes recently? I tend to punt gnomes on a frequent basis. It's a pastime of me, a sport and hobby I have perfected over many years. I tend not to do it too boastfully or to brag about it, but I'm pretty good. What I'll do is I'll blow a smoke ring and then punt a gnome through the ring. There were some good ones. Let's see if I can beat them. So I forgot to tell you why I'm doing this a day early. By the way, those of you who happen to be online this time tomorrow, please log into the chat and let people know that I did this today. So, there's a Christmas party being thrown at my work, and I've got to go to it. Not necessarily got to, but I actually really want to go to it, because last year it was a lot of fun. So, when I should be doing this show, I instead will be walking around a great restaurant with a bunch of my awesome coworkers, drinking a little scotch, smoking some classy combustibles, and waxing on about a year well spent. Relinquinus says, you keep on quoting Mark Twain, but I do not think that quote comes from where you think it does. Mark Twain. Indeed. Indigo Montoyo. Mark Twain says, ho ho ho. Thanks, Mark Twain. So glad you're here. Love your work. Goldbreath says, Princess Bride. Kudos to you. 5 internet points for you. Araxis says, oh my god, it's George Clooney. Look, I've been trying to keep this a secret, but when I'm not off gallivanting with debutantes and celebrities and making movies, I'm here with the beard as Oxhorn. That's right, I am George Clooney. I know, I've been outed by the fine fellows at Twitch TV, but I can't deny it any longer. I was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And sadly, I was in Batman. Ugh. Chopper Dave says, one does not simply quote Mark Twain. Mark Twain. Burnsy123 says, what's your job? Great question. I am a marketer. Specifically, I'm an inbound marketer. I work for a company here in Seattle that sells digital marketing to the hospitality industry. I know, it sounds really sexy, and it is. I actually have a lot of fun with it. But yeah, I'm a blogger, copywriter, SEO guru, I suppose, and SEM marketer. I do pay-per-click advertising, WordPress, website creation, training sessions, webinars. Yep, that's what I do. In another world and in another place on the internet, I am known for different things. Why is my cigar going out? Mark Twain says, we're going to need a bigger boat. Relinqueness says, does your torchlighter ever inspire pyromaniac tendencies? Of course. And I satisfy those tendencies by lighting my cigar. No need to be an arson, my friends. No need to set your neighbor's garbage pile on fire, when instead you have a gentlemanly stogie and can enjoy it in the privacy of your own home with classy friends. Burnsy123 says, cool. What camera are you using? It looks very nice. I'm using the same camera I always have, and if you look at the previous episodes, it never looked quite so nice. Actually, the only reason it looks decent today is I've got lights up for the first time ever. I actually have lighting done right. It's not done perfectly. I'm going to be getting some nice lights from YouTube, but this is suitable for now. I'm using a Microsoft camera. It's like an HD cam. I forget the name of it. It's like a My Life Pro something or other. Tamarisk says, Oxhorn, I want another WoW Christmas song, a la Baby It's Cold Outside. Alright, let's iterate on that a little bit. Let's think about it. How would the lyrics go? But baby, it's cold outside. I need to go home, but baby, it's cold outside. Our friends will all talk, but baby, it's cold outside. Something. So then how could we turn that into Warcraft? We could say, I need to go home, but baby, there are Alliance outside. No, we could spin it, right? The Horde could be outside. The Alliance could be inside, and they could say, I need to go home, but baby, there's Horde outside. Maybe there's trolls outside. Yeah, that might work. Roger says, I know it says your lips look delicious. That's true. It does say that your lips look delicious. So we could have a troll talking to a gnome. The gnome says, I really need to go. The troll says, but your lips look delicious. That's a little strange. I don't know if we could do that. We might get some angry emails from concerned parents. Or gnomes, right? We've offended all the elves in the world. Might as well offend all the gnomes. Rochers Boxers says, I want to go home, but baby, there's Horde outside. There you go. That does work, right? Kind of has a ring to it. Relinqueness says, gnome heads on a pine tree. Yeah, I already made that movie. You're probably quoting it, so you probably knew. DJ Pants says, my gnome is shaking in her custom baby seal leather boots. If you're a gnome that slays baby seals and makes boots out of them, then awesome. Welcome to the Horde, my friend. You are officially one of us. Burnsy123 says, when do you stream? I normally stream every Thursday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific, but today I'm doing it a day early because I have an event tomorrow. So, Drumax says, FUB, meaning Facebook. Yeah, let me check my Facebook comments here. So I'm checking the Facebook comments on scotchandsmokerings.com. So if you want to leave a comment with your Facebook profile, just scroll to the bottom of the page at scotchandsmokerings.com and leave a comment in that little form. That's what I'm reading. And Sam Nichols says, did Blizzard ever send you anything yet, Ox? No, they didn't, but they did tell me what they're going to send me. And I'm not going to spoil the surprise yet. Let's just say that they're sending me 3 very special, very limited edition items, and they want me to give them away to all of you in a contest, which I'm happy to do. And I haven't figured out what contest I want to do yet, but I'll probably figure that out over the weekend and then give them away either next week or when I get back from Kentucky, which will be sometime in January. Anyway, awesome contests, great prizes. You guys are all going to like them, so stay tuned. Blake31393 says, no shave 2012. Win. Indeed, sir. I take Movember to a whole new level. Rotipus says, can you enter more than once? It depends. I haven't really designed the contest yet. Many of my previous contests have allowed people to enter more than once, so I'm pretty sure you will be able to. Come on, ladder. Don't crap out on me. There we go. There's something wrong with this cigar. It's fully lit, but it's really slow. It's got a slow draw on it, and it's not functioning well. Probably because it was 99 cents. Tamarisk says, what's the contest? First Oxhorn live stream. Pleasure to have you here, Tamarisk. I'm so glad you're here. I haven't designed the contest yet. Now, my previous contests have been fan art contests, machinima contests, original song contests, Marco Polo contests. I haven't decided what I want this contest to be, but it may be one of those. Who knows? Maybe you guys could send me great suggestions, and I'll make one based on your suggestions. Goldbreath says, Exterminator, sorry, Force of Habit. Zal says Marco Polo. Yeah, so my Marco Polo contest works like this. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Google+. At some random point during the day, I will shout Marco from one of my social networks. The first person to respond with Polo wins the prize. And those are contests that I've done in the past to give away all sorts of prizes. The most recent one was, I think, September? I think it was September, yeah. I'm not doing that right now, so this isn't an actual contest, but who knows, maybe I'll do one again in the future. Sam Nichols says, speaking of Back to the Future, isn't Doc Brown kind of a Walsh for not letting Marty know about Parkinson's? Oh, man. That's below the belt. Leave the man alone. The poor guy. Milena just said I had to sign up for live stream. Weird. Really? Why did you have to sign up for live stream? You shouldn't have to. The chat here on live stream is completely free. Greg Hartline says, War Chief Hellscream has been taking some drastic turns on the Horde lately. Are you for or against his extreme views? I know nothing about them. However, I have heard through the grapevine that at the end of Mists of Pandaria, you're going to have to kill Hellscream. Is that true? Not sure. Burnsby123 says, are you into film at all? You look like you would be interested in film. I am interested in film. You probably don't know that I make a lot of movies, actually. If you go to Oxhorn.com, you can see all of the machinima movies I've made. I make animated machinima movies using video game artwork. I've made music videos and storyline-driven movies, almost all of them comedies, a few dramas and tragedies. So if you're interested in film, check out my movies at Oxhorn.com. Interesting that you would get that by just watching me talk. Zal says, why is the rum gone? We're not drinking rum today, ladies and gentlemen. We're drinking Scotch. Oh, Mark Twain? Yeah, okay. Mark Twain. Goldbreath says the Grim Totem race? Yeah. Racing the Grim Totem was the name of my only tragedy. It was one of the first movies I made back in like 2006. Also one of my favorite movies. I think it was my favorite movie until I made Inventing Swear Words 4 or 5. I just really had a lot of fun with that movie. Araxis says, am I a bad person for liking Jack Daniels? No. You just lack culture and class. I kid! I kid! There's nothing wrong with Jack Daniels, my friends. There are just classier alternatives out there, like Glenfiddich, and Lafroig, and Glenlivet, and other fantastic scotches. By the way, if anyone pronounces Glenlivet Glenlivet, you are no longer my friend. Put it out there. It's Glenlivet, not Glenlivet. Burnsby123 says, what class do you play and what realm? I play a Druid Tauren on Silverhand. Finger Cramp says, yes, because a real man likes Woodford Reserve. That's one I haven't tried yet. I will have to try. Based on your recommendation. Thank you. Cervantes says, Umaga, are you the Oxhorn? I am indeed. Thank you for coming to this episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. I do this show every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time. So glad you are here. And you can check out my movies at oxhorn.com. And you can buy my book at chloronhastings.com. And buy my music at oxhorn.com. I have a lot of things out there you can buy. Yeah, if you want to throw money at me, that's fine. I'm not going to be upset. I will again say, if you want to throw money at me, just buy me some cigars. You can go to scotchandsmokerings.com, click on the link that says Gifts for Ox. You'll find a great selection of cigars there that you can buy and send to me. I will be in your debt, and I will smoke them here on scotchandsmokerings.com. Greg Hartung says, shut up and take my money. I really wish I could, but sadly, the internet machine just doesn't work that conveniently. I would just reach through the screen, but alas. Goldbreath, did you try throwing pennies at the screen, hoping they would get to me? It's okay, man. We all get tired. Don't worry. Araxa says, have you ever debated streaming WoW as a full-time job? I have. I am a partner here at Twitch TV. I love it here at Twitch TV. And I love World of Warcraft. However, I have to admit that over the years, my love for World of Warcraft and games in general has been tempered by my love of other pursuits, including blogging and digital marketing and other things that I find interesting. And so while I would probably enjoy being a full-time World of Warcraft streamer to a certain extent, I would really miss what I'm currently doing. And so for the moment, I choose to do what I'm doing now. It could change someday. We'll see what happens. Burnsby123 says, where do you buy 99-cent cigars? I don't smoke, but just wondering. Look, my friends, I do not recommend buying 99-cent cigars. They're not good. They are... Okay, I'll take that back. This is actually okay. It's not burning straight. It's got a distinct taste, but it's not horrible. It was only 99 cents. That said, I am fairly picky when it comes to cigars, so I made sure to inspect this cigar before I purchased it. So it's probably a decent 99-cent cigar. But you can find 99-cent cigars if you're really clever by going to cigar shops online and buying big packs of them. You could spend $60 for 60 cigars, for example, and that's 99 cents a cigar. Go to Gotham Cigars. It's linked from the website here at scotchandsmokerings.com, and you can check it out. Light Magi says, you are awesome. I've been watching your movies for the last 2 years, and I love them. Keep up the great work, please. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Light Magi. I'm so glad you're here. And I will continue to make machinima movies, as I have done for a very long time. There ain't no stopping the Oxhorn. No, sir. There ain't no stopping. Blake31393 says, is there any amount of money you would take to shave your beard? Yes, $1 million. I will happily shave it live on camera for 1 million smackaroonies. Yes, that means that I can be bought. So, it's $1 million. What could I do with that money? I could make many machinima movies. I could make many websites. I could do it for a very long time. If I had $1 million, you know who would benefit most? You. I kid. I really would benefit most. I'm getting $1 million, but you would benefit too, because I would be able to sit down and produce all of the stories and songs that are inside this head without distraction. But alas, I am not the millionaire yet. Hot for Bieber says, you could buy infinite beards for that kind of money. Look, you can't buy a real beard. You think this costs money? No, sir. This is a priceless artifact grown from my pores. That is something no amount of money could ever reproduce. No, this is all natural. It is fueled by meat and scotch and cigars. And that is a hard combination to produce in a lab. Therefore, you can't buy it. Cheers, ladies and gents. Bottoms up. Alright, for those who are interested in my beard, I did actually make a beard website. It's called growabeardnow.com, all one word. You can see my beard video and see the products I use to enhance the manliness of this majestic beard. Do a magic trick. Do it. Alright, you want me to do a magic trick? Alright, I'll do a magic trick. I got a few good ones out of there. This is, of course, my penny whistle. There, a magic trick. I blew smoke rings out of a penny whistle. Alright, it is actually getting close to the end of this program, and what we do every week here at ScotchandSmokerings.com at the end of the show is blow a smoke ship. That's right, you wanted a magic trick, ladies and gentlemen. I can do that for you. I will craft a ship made entirely out of smoke, based on your suggestions. Whatever it is you would like to see, whether it's a smoke submarine, or a smoke zeppelin, or a smoke aircraft carrier, I don't care. What is on your mind? Give me your suggestions and I will do my very best to craft a ship made entirely from smoke. Go. Blake31393 says, smoke Titanic. Cervantes says, a smoke Hindenburg. Alright, apparently we have some 9-year-old boys in the chat on Twitch TV who are naming body parts. That's clever. No one else has ever done that. Glade says USS Enterprise. Interesting, I could do that. Jumbly says a smoke helicopter. These are all great. These are all great. I'm looking for something a little bit more creative. Something that has pizzazz. Ghoulbreath says, Mark Twain stating various completely accurate comments and quotes while Oxhorn and Staghorn cook panda pizzas for the beautiful Nova and Gavin as the fans send a card to Ironbark who makes him feel better. Put that on a boat and I'll do it. Alright? It's got to be a smoke ship, right, Ghoulbreath? It can't just be a smoke diorama. It's got to be a ship, right? Either the Titanic or a sailboat, says Blake313993. Smoke Space Shuttle, says Cervantes. Dragon Fan says, a smoke dinghy with Oxhorn working on a new machinima. Nice, nice. I like all of that. On a bacon galleon sailing through a Scotch sea. That is it. That is a handy go-to. All right, Ghoulbreath. Here we go. Time to do Ghoulbreath's smoke ship on a bacon galleon sailing through a Scotch sea. All right, here we go. Thank you, everyone, for your fantastic smoke ship ideas. This one goes to Ghoulbreath. Are you ready? All right. Don't blink, because if you do, you're going to miss this. Get ready to take screenshots. Hover over the print screen button. You're going to want to save this for posterity. Whoa! Woo-wee! I hope you didn't blink, because if you did, you missed it. But for the briefest of moments, there before your eyes was Mark Twain stating various completely accurate comments and quotes while Oxhorn and Staghorn cook panda pizzas for the beautiful Nova and Gavin as the fans send cards to Ironbark to make him feel better, all atop a bacon galleon sailing on a Scotch sea. I hope you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. I tried. You know, it takes skill and talent to weave such a complex scene in your mouth and then expel it without it being damaged by the winds and the vapors. It's a gift, really. It's part of my set bonus. Suspenders, beard, hat, cigar, combined give me the powers necessary to produce such complexities. So, Blake31393 says, there are devastating powers locked deep inside that beard. I know. I wish I could share the power, but with that power comes the weight of the responsibility, and that is something I don't think anyone wants. It's just so much. So much. Crushinator says, are you mentally stable? That is a question I get asked often. I'll let you decide upon that. When is the next live stream, says Glade. It's going to be next Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. So a week and 1 day from today. A week from tomorrow. Turtle King 728 says, I love the music in the background. The music is streaming live from radiodismuke.com if you would like to listen to it. I don't have an arrangement with them. They're just a fantastic radio station that I love. Radio Dismuke. That's where I get all my music. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. I'm going to leave you with a few smoke rings before I head on out, because that is the name of the show. Pringles Lol says, Oxhorn, I just wanted you to know you made my younger years in WoW and made the internet enjoyable. Thank you for everything. Well, thank you so much, my friend, for coming to Scotch and Smoke Rings. I really appreciate it. I've been making movies since like 2006. That's a long time. And I plan on continuing to make movies. There is no stopping. There is no stopping. All right, here we go. Smoke rings. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. See you next week. And be sure, my friends, as always, to stay classy.
I asked your father, he said okay. I asked your mother, she said hooray.